Mihai's second sortie was designed to calculate how his physiology changed under the stress of combat. My job was to compare his performance as a pilot now to when he was younger and understand how his skills evolved. To tell you the truth, I'm not sure I wanted to know the answers anymore. For a man his age, Mihai's body was unbelievably resilient, remarkably flexible. His reflexes were as sharp as they ever were. Still, after all those years of flying in the outer layers of the atmosphere, even someone as strong as Mihai wasn't immune to the effects of the strain. The human body is fragile. It was not meant to handle the excessive amounts of radiation that constantly bombarded the stratosphere. For Mihai's second sortie, we used a flight suit that was still untested. He seemed fine on takeoff, but by the time he landed back at the base, he was clearly a mess. He got caught in a surprise dogfight with an especially stubborn enemy. It took a while for Mihai to bring him down.
Suspend mission.
The suit was ineffective. According to the data, it wouldn't let him fly to his full potential. A new flight suit was made to my exact specifications. When it finally arrived, Mihai's granddaughters glared at me with their disapproval. They blamed me for the pain their grandfather had to keep enduring. But Mihai remained stoic. He wasn't the type of man who cared about anything that happened here on the ground. I wasn't worried about it. I was confident the new suit would protect him thoroughly so that he could maneuver his plane any way he wanted. The moment he took off in his new flight suit, I realized what I had failed to before. Right after takeoff, as the wheels retracted, the plane suddenly arced up. It accelerated so quickly. I had never seen a plane move like that before. Mihai hit the high G's multiple times before disappearing into the blue. The support team couldn't even keep up. And then I knew. I understood why he never seemed to care about restoring his stolen country back to its former glory, and why he didn't seem to care about anything that happened here on the ground. Of course, Mihai's kingdom was the sky.
The operation to capture Erusia's capital, Farbanti, is beginning. This is the culmination of our work. We need to capture the Erusian forces' general headquarters in the south of Farbanti and end this war. The plan is for ground troops to attack Farbanti from both the east and north, and a task fleet will attack from the southwest. We will secure air superiority over the capital, while providing air support for our allies on the ground and in the water as required. By all accounts, we expect this to be an intense, full-scale battle across land, sea, and air. Should you need to replenish your ammunition or make necessary repairs to your craft, a return line has been set up in the north. During this operation, we will also be tasked with having to destroy the communications satellites that Erusia hacked. If we take down the information communication system that we believe they have control over, it should plunge Erusia into chaos. Once the capital falls, the Erusian military will be isolated and thrown into chaos, making it easier for us to end the war. However, that can't happen until after the capital falls, so you guys are the stars of this battle. Erusia will fight like a tiger, but we cannot lose. We must seize the capital and end this war.
Strider Squadron, proceed to runway. Sortie ASAP.
Our troops have engaged at Farbanti Reconstruction Park, Silver Bridge, and the submerged area. We need you to help our boys in those 3 locations. This'll end the war. It's time. Commence the operation. Our friends are waiting.
Lately, as your company commander, I felt some of you young bucks coming after my championship belt. Putting pressure on me, so I think I'm gonna go out there and run up the score a little bit. Just to show you guys how it's done. I trust I can count on all you to keep up. Let's get out there, take care of business, and come back in one piece. Lay down!
Strider 1, return lines to the north. Head that way if you need to refuel. Good luck, everyone.
Count is back in the saddle as Cyclops 2. It's good to be flying with you again, partner.
Cute. No, it's real funny.
This one's all mine. Enemy is split.
I'm on my target's tail.
Strider 1, the men below you are to secure the Silver Bridge, where they can't break enemy lines. We have aircraft in addition to you, but our numbers are less than ideal.
Strikes in the sky. Too bad for those guys.
Strider 1, Fox 2. Missile hit.
We need more air support. We can't hold the bridge much longer without it. Standard clear. Lock on. Call reinforcement! Damn it! Should have known it sooner! It's no use! We have to retreat!
Cyclops 2, Fox 2.
Enemy backup inbound. Forces are heading from 2 separate combat zones. We need to split our forces in 2 and meet both threats at once.
Trigger, head for either area. Cyclops will take care of the other one.
Roger.
I'm on my target. Stay sharp. Think hard. Heavy firing.
Think that'd miss.
Target acquired.
Okay. We can hold out just a little longer. Our plan will be a success. 10 units, advance!
Locked on.
Target eliminated.
Enemy has a lock.
Okay, Trigger. The park is all yours. We'll deal with the other threat.
I'll show you all how it's done.
Warriors, you want to stop the enemy. Advance on the hospital.
We can't let the enemy take this position! Kill them all!
Strider 1, AA gun destroyed.
Roger. The park will be secured. Shots on the way.
I am the field.
Enemy attack struck me. I'm still okay. HQ, we're falling back. We don't stand a chance against their air support. Roger ground. Strider 1, this is Control Tower. I can't believe we're getting pushed back. We won't last long.
Reduce altitude. Fly between the buildings.
How did that miss?
Target acquired. Target eliminated.
You never know what's gonna happen in naval warfare. Stay vigilant.
That area's all yours, Strider. We'll back up one squadron at the Silver Bridge. Cyclops 3, break! Missile inbound!
Fox 2.
Break! Break!
Keep sending the enemy forces to their watery graves. Target is in machine gun range.
The enemy's got a lock.
Target hit.
The harder the battle, the less likely it goes according to plan.
Target eliminated. Strider 1, you're taking fire. Target acquired.
Good strike is overhead. Lady Luck's now on our side.
You're low on special weapons. Vessel confirmed sunk.
We've lost 30% of our fleet. It's going to be difficult to complete our mission given the circumstances. Everyone's requesting backup. They'll take forever to get here. Watch the plane with the 3 strikes. Are you sure? Is it really those pilots in Stonehenge?
Thanks, Warrior. Our victory is within sight. Let's turn the remaining enemies into shark bait.
Steer clear of the sunken Allied ships. Just how many did we lose? The 3 strikes is back. Target obliterated.
Target is hit.
Our tank commander's down! I've been spiked. Strider 2, Fox 2.
Target acquired.
Special delivery. Let's teach a lesson to those arrogant Ocean bastards!
Hang in there. 3 strikes will be here soon. Show them how Ocean fights this battle. Open fire.
Strider 1, Fox 2.
Strider 2, Fox 2. Strider 1, break!
Target is hit.
We don't have enough ships left for organized combat!
We don't want any surprises.
Fall back 900 yards.
Your air support considerably weakened organized resistance from the Erusian army. Operation nearly complete. Just need to see it through.
Understood. Understood.
All right.
Understood. Understood. Understood.
This is the start. There are small boats hiding in the ruins. Take them out before they can approach the fleet.
We've spotted enemy backup. Check your radars.
Copy. Trigger. It's about time we finished up here and helped other allies in trouble.
You don't need to try and target every enemy. Just keep your focus. Take one down, then move on to the next. Enemy fleet is crippled. Friendly warships should be able to finish them off.
HQ, 1-2. We've eliminated the enemy resistance. 1, 2, and 3 are making their way to HQ now.
Unload every last round of ammo you've got. We can't let them get past us.
Target acquired.
Strider 1, this is Control Tower. Strider 1, this is Control. Ship's tilting!
Target acquired.
Our plane is defensive to the AO. Coordinates Tango 28, Lima 39.
Lock on! Good night!
Strider 1, Fox 3.
After me! Breaking! Enemy has a lock!
The balance in our case.
That's what has a lock on me! This one's wide open!
Missile hit. You did really well out there. This is sure to bring an end to the war. You'll be heroes.
Don't know what medals they've got for you, but if you want one, come back in one piece. Just too many of them! Attack missile!
Don't let down your guard. The enemy will fight to the very end.
Hostile has a lock!
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
Fox 2! Fox 2! Strider 1, missile inbound! Evade! Enemy missile inbound, it's evading!
3 minutes remaining. Strider 1, missile launched.
Here's how hard we're pushing from up here.
We've lost half our men? What about the reinforcements?
Target acquired.
Backup is coming! The defensive HQ! Strider 4, Fox 2. Beta sighted.
They aren't as good as the ones on Silver Bridge. Break through the enemy lines and make your way to the headquarters.
Missile hit.
Evading missile. We lost a friendly. Fox 2.
Strider 1, Fox 3. 2 minutes remaining.
The enemy is showing signs of fatigue. Deal the final blow!
Strider 1, Fox 2.
Put your backs into it, man. If we get through this, streets are on me.
Attack missed.
Target was not struck.
Missile away, bon voyage. Locked on bandit. Enemy missile inbound. Evading. On the enemy's tail. Now in the fight. We still have a chance at victory. It's much easier to defend once you've taken up attack position. Finish them.
1 minute remaining.
Fox 2.
Cyclone Squad, break! Break!
Target in gun range.
I'll keep the enemy most busy. Finish them off while they're on me.
Enemy is locked on. Breaking.
Locked on. You're almost out of special weaponry. 30 seconds remaining. Strider 1, Fox 2.
Enemy's got a lock. Intelligence keep coming. Didn't think that'd miss. Getting out front. Breaking.
Fox 3. All aircraft, listen carefully. This is Lancaster. Cyclops. Operation to eliminate all enemy satellites also underway. All going according to plan. The end of the war is in sight. Think of something you'd like to eat, guys? Because I'm buying.
Roger that.
Man, don't jinx us.
You're right. New bogies. No, 5 Su-30s inbound.
It's Mr. X.
What's going on here? I don't believe it. We just lost ship 3 and 4. We're taking heavy damage. It's like this monster is toying with us out there. We've got to do something.
LRSSG, we have an emergency order from Mission Command. Bring down Mr. X. I know it's a tall order, but HQ wouldn't ask if they didn't have faith in you.
There they are. It's the snowbirds. The 2 leaders are at a different level, but don't underestimate the rest of them either. This should prove to be fun. What do you mean? It's just like you say, the enemy has experienced fighters in their midst. Don't go at them alone. Draw more on each target. Fox 2. Strider 1, missile inbound. Locked on.
This ship is sunk. Single fighter coming back around.
Don't let Mr. X run wild. Friendlies are suffering heavy damage.
Cyclops 3, evade. Missile incoming.
Enemy has a lock on you.
Don't get too far ahead.
Mr. X is eating through those reinforcements.
No. Who are these guys?
I'm hit! Stay focused. We've still got a monster to slay. Evaded.
What's this guy eating to fly like that?
The ship was sunk soon after. That's the last we heard of him.
Not long before our forces surrounded.
Quick hit and run.
Careful. Enemy on your tail.
Calling in our air support ASAP. Yes, talking about them.
Cyclops, Strider, stop Mr. X.
This is Cyclops 3. I've been hit. I gotta eject.
Take him out one by one. Cyclops 3 is bailed out safely. Don't worry. He's gonna make it. Listen, Trigger. Real talk. If we keep this up, someone's not going home. I'll act as a lure. Meanwhile, shoot down Mr. X.
What?
Right, he grabbed a bait. Time to take him for a ride. Man, this is one stubborn bastard. He's on my tail, but he won't fire. Waiting for the perfect shot, eh? Sorry, stranger. My boys won't let you have it.
Enough with your air show, Wiseman. You're pushing it.
Oh, Cal, that's sweet. I never knew you cared. Enemy's got a lock. You're all grown up. I'll even let the wisecrack slide.
Hey, I'm being serious here.
You're low on missiles. Scratch the last escort.
We need to be extra careful if we want to split up the 2 leaders. Eject, while you can still talk.
Hold up. My radar has shown that an enemy aircraft has been stuck on Cyclops 1 for a while now.
Makes my blood run cold to even think if he came up on my 6. Wiseman! Missile closing! I'll keep him on me. Just a bit longer.
Shit. Cyclops 1 is down.
Cyclops Wiseman down. Eject already, Wiseman!
I'm sorry, Count. This plane exploded.
Wiseman, stay strong. We're not done here.
Cyclops 2, you've got the lead.
Wiseman! Shit!
Negative, Cyclops 2, you're the lead.
I can't do it. Trigger should take command.
The duty is yours.
That's impossible.
Do it.
Ah, damn it! Cyclops 4, form an element. We need our top gun if we're gonna take out that bastard.
Buccal count.
Can Trigger handle this solo?
Damn. I thought I could Trigger's 8, but I can't keep up.
Missile hit.
Alright!
Damn.
Now go finish the job.
Get Mr. X, Trigger. Shoot it down, Trigger. You can do it. In fact, you're the only one who can.
My radar suddenly turned off. My data won't update.
My HUD is
Damn it.
glitching out.
What was that?
I've lost radar contact. What's up?
Look at the sky. Towards the sun.
What is that?
A star? No. Maybe an explosion?
This is Soul Squadron. Head home. It's not safe to stick around here if we lose our base.
Listen up. We've just lost our real-time connection with Mission Command. It's not just Mission Command. I'm not getting any response from outside our LOS. Farbanti's now under Ocean control. The operation was a success. We didn't get the orders that should have come after the operational success. We'll guide you to the scheduled airport. All aircraft, leave this airspace immediately.
Negative. They've got a debt to pay.
Count, we all feel the same way.
Shit.
So Wiseman died for nothing.
This is a peacekeeping force forward base near Erusian territory. Other Allied aircraft have probably been forced to make emergency landings at other airfields. We don't know much. The mission to capture the capital is nearly complete, but we unfortunately have no intel. The enemy communication satellites are down, and we have confirmed the deaths of several Erusian leaders. But our enemy was smart. They had a similar plan. Our own communication systems were destroyed at approximately the same time. We have no idea when or if they'll come back online. Stand by for further details.
As far as the chaos we find ourselves in these days, it's difficult to say which side pulled the trigger first. Erusia deployed an automatic intercept system with drones. Osea implemented long-range attacks to bypass them. So Erusia decided to sabotage Osea's communications and navigation technology. Erusia couldn't launch a satellite themselves, but they were still able to hack the software of the Osean transmission and navigation systems. Before Osea even noticed, half of their satellites were hijacked. That's when things got ugly. In an attempt to knock out each other's capabilities, both forces launched fighters loaded with anti-satellite missiles at the same time. Only military satellites were targeted. However, their destruction created a debris field in orbit, which wiped out scores of other satellites, both private and government-owned. What kept the world relatively sane up to that point had been free-flowing data and information. But now, those were gone. All that remained was chaos and confusion. Government and civilian broadcasts and transmissions were cut off. The flow of information had ceased. Forces on both sides of the conflict now found themselves unable to communicate with their superiors. Many of the smaller countries annexed by Erusia and yearning for their independence seized the opportunity and started their own uprisings. As for why some of Osea's military decided to break off from the main force and continue on their own, I have no idea. Perhaps there was some sort of dispute over the chain of command. The continent that had once seen wars that were only fought between Osea and Erusia was now full of numerous conflicts between rival leaders vying for power. Insurgencies were everywhere. I even heard a rumor that a group of Osean convicts had rebelled. Rumors. It never ceased to amaze me that even at a crazy time like this, something as trivial as a rumor could find its way here. Communications from corporate were cut off. Apparently, the entire computer network was down. It was a wise decision to make our drones autonomous with AI instead of being radio-controlled. Wise and forward-thinking. Even with their GPS offline, they can still use their sensors to navigate as long as they're working properly. I'm sure the drones are still working perfectly, following their mission orders to the letter. I wish I could upload Mihai's new data to them. But without a connection, I can't upload the software to the active drones. The new ones we're making, though, there should still be enough time to upgrade those before they're activated. I'll be taking the data I've acquired away from the front lines now. Oh, and I'll be taking the girls, too. I told my assistant Masa it was time to get Mihai's granddaughters ready to leave here. She's not much older than the girls, but she has a way about her, and I'm sure she won't have any trouble with them. I saw a plane flying off in the distance. I imagine it was looking for a safer place. The plane had a rose emblem on it.
Erusia's communication networks have been down since their satellites were destroyed. Unfortunately, we are experiencing trouble too. All of Erusia has been affected, and we don't know when things will be back up and running. We're not even sure if this is Erusia's doing. Still, we will follow the strategy that was originally planned, and move on to the next operation after liberating Farbanti. Let's get to it. Since the war began, we've been receiving communications in secret from an officer in the Erusian army.
With the capital under our control, Erusia's radical element is losing support quickly, affecting the balance of power.
HQ is thinking of using the military officer as a way to gain leverage to settle peace negotiations. The officer is currently hiding in the outskirts of Anchorhead Bay, having joined up with support dispatched from the Osean army. The plan is that they'll take a standard vehicle to a rendezvous point at a harbor in the east part of the city, where a helicopter will be waiting.
I would like the new Strider Squadron to provide escort for the officer. Cyclops will remain at the base on standby to serve as defense.
With the communication network currently down in the capital, I very much doubt Erusia will be able to mount a regimented counterattack. However, it is likely that Erusia's intelligence department and the remaining forces who are aware of the officer's movements will interfere. Keep a close eye on the officer and make sure he stays safe. Our victory in Farbanti has given us a golden opportunity to finally end this war. Be safe out there.
Take note that our satellite-based IFF has become unreliable following the recent communications failure. As such, target ID will be done by processing the images from the infrared cameras on your aircraft. Objects will initially appear as unknown on your HUDs, but will be ID'd once you close in on them for a set period of time.
Strider Squadron, you're cleared to taxi.
To the unidentified Osean craft, this is Captain Carl of the Osean Army. Are you here for the escort? You're not the squadron I was expecting. Are you really friendlies? Over.
This is Longcaster. Airborne warning and control system for the Osean Long-Range Strategic Strike Group. Captain Carl, they're on our side.
And those two pilots we've heard about must be here too.
Okay, I hope you're right. Longcaster, are all of these really unknowns?
It's a state of civil war. The Erusian army is fighting itself. There's no guarantee the Oseans won't shoot us in this confusion.
We'll image process the unknowns caught in your cams to identify friend or foe. The process will be faster if you get a close-up, well-centered image.
Meanwhile, we just run if they shoot us, right?
Affirmative. Always identify your target before you fire.
Something I'll never get used to. But tonight has been a total shock. The city under martial law. Gunfire and the roar of jets echoing through the streets.
Give me Strider Squadron's IDs. Oh, and hand me that sandwich. ID'd as Osean forces. This is AWACS for the LRSSG.
Our info has been updated.
Vehicle confirmed destroyed. Entering the Anchorhead Bay area. Buildings will block your line of sight. Make sure to keep track of your objective.
How this war ends depends on this mission. I'm counting on you. Understood.
Strider Squadron, identify the unknowns along the route. It's Erusian.
They aren't responding aggressively.
General, they're conservative, so listen to us, Sentry. The negotiations were a success, Lancaster. They've opened up a path for us.
Roger that. We'll look for our way home.
We can't see the tops of the roofs from down here. Be on the lookout for enemy ambushes. We made it through the Anchorhead Bay area. We're heading along Highway 208 under the bridge. We're taking the coastal highway at the next ramp.
All right.
Whether you're a patriot or not, you're just too stubborn to change with the times. The use of drones makes war more palatable. Why don't people realize this?
ID is Erusian military.
Thunderbolt, so be it!
Call warning. Missile.
Wait, the General managed to convince them.
Listen, those that protect General LaFarge are the real patriots. Onward!
There's a vehicle up ahead. Think it's gonna ask us to pay a toll? Get closer and find out if it's an enemy vehicle.
We'll go. Let's go. We archive all the footage that we've shot when the communication networks come back online.
We need to remind everyone that there's no such thing as a clean war.
Signs of the clean warfare at the beginning of this war are now gone.
There's a vehicle blocking the road. No response to hails. It's the radicals. This one's mine. Allied shutdown! Nice work. That takes care of that one. We're heading for the highway. Thanks to you. We got out of paying that toll. I'll wait before firing. Bail out now. Field 1, stop. Check your IFS. It's a friendly. I know what I'm doing.
Stall warning.
Vehicle confirmed destroyed.
We're almost at landfill number 7. If we can make it through, we'll be in arm's reach of the rendezvous at Kruger Park. Captain Carl, do you have the means to record this conversation? I wish to explain to you the situation inside Erusia. I'm sure the boys listening upstairs will record it. The open declaration of war, expanding the front lines, was all the work of some young Erusian officers. They were referred to as the radicals, but there was an unseen force guiding them. It was technology they borrowed from the Belgians. When they actually went to war, the performance of the attack drones exceeded their wildest dreams. And they were incredibly clean, which got public opinion and the opportunists within the military on their side. They even manipulated the princess. The Belkin technology advanced UAV research within the Erusian Flight Test Center by at least 10 years. They used the flight data from a former ace pilot to create drone AI, but to us it's no different than magic or alchemy. Airplanes are meant to be flown by human beings. For those of you listening in, am I wrong? We're heading towards Grunder Park. Rendezvous point is a helipad on this man-made island. We'll ditch the car and take the helicopter from there.
Stall warning.
Right! We're taking fire from our own allies. Is this place under rebellion too?
An unknown is blocking our scheduled route.
No response. Got a bad feeling. Thanks. We would have been toast.
Rider 1, hostile has a lock.
It is not machines that make the decisions in war. It's people. Understand that.
Pull up.
Captain Carl, we have a new rendezvous point. New coordinates are as follows. 263 Tango 4, 1999 Delta Lima. Rescue team says hostiles are making the area too dangerous.
Well, yeah. Don't they know nowhere is safe?
Our capital's fault has led to an accomplishment in the Erusian military.
It's all gone to hell. Even radio chatters about the Civil War. Radio? You have one in your cockpit? Yeah, ever since my previous squadron. I've got it taped nice and secure.
That vehicle is one of ours! Fire! He is supposed to get through!
We're about to cross Anchor Bridge. There'll be nowhere to hide.
was something.
An armored vehicle's behind us. It's a vehicle used by the Erusian forces. Take it out!
Trigger, our VIP is in trouble. Clear the way for him.
We're taking fire! Take care of them! I didn't think we were gonna make it, but you saved us. Thanks.
We have no choice! Fire! Weapons hold! You heard the comm. There are no friendlies out there.
This is a message to all of you fighting out there. Ask yourselves, what is best for our country?
Prepare to fire on a moment's notice.
General, we still have drones at our disposal. Peace talks.
Vehicle eliminated.
Watch all the future we build from the high heavens.
We've almost reached the container area. Watch out for enemy ambushes.
Understood. System failures caused friendly fire incidents among Ocean forces. There are even rumors of penal units turning on their former allies.
Unidentified aircraft to the drones.
Conflict concluded. Regional forces in the center, south, and east struggle over stabilization of the nation. The Erusian government has defined these groups, along with those trying to independently make peace with Osia, as rebels.
We're coming up on a tunnel. We'll need to split up until we reach the exit. There's more to Belgian technology than just replicas. IFF designations for one was an astonishing feat. They used it to make drones that resembled Ocean fighters. And then to assassinate Harley and put the blame on enemy fighters. But in the end, Belgian technology brought chaos to the world.
I can't believe this is responsible for Harley's assassination.
You talking politics? That's new.
Can't ignore a story like that.
They actually believe that using robots will put an end to bloodshed.
Bad news. Hostile armored forces outside of the tunnel. I'm thinking that we should go say hi before they ruin the General's day.
The General's a real celebrity. Seems everyone wants to meet him.
We were nearly done for. I couldn't have asked for better timing.
How did you last long, Caster? You've been briefed and we're here to help.
Nice. Glad to see the Oceans attacking the radicals. Maybe we should join up with them if it means getting rid of those assholes faster.
Vigilance is part of the infighting within these groups.
We've reached the industrial zone. This should be the new rendezvous point. Coordinates are up ahead. Take out any enemies in the surrounding area.
Glad we waited. Don't worry, we won't let anybody through us.
Almost at the rendezvous, in the rear of the others. Understood.
The radicals truly believe most improved productions will make up for our losses. They shouldn't take responsibility for the capital's fall, but instead they're prolonging the war. That is why proper conservatives like myself are moving to regain control. If all goes well, we should be able to sign a truce with Osia quickly.
Take out Eddie in autonomous mode.
We've reached the rendezvous point. There's the chopper, too.
Turn to in this darkest hour. We need a beacon of light to show us the way. This is the Erusian News Network.
Okay, let's go. We're getting out of here. I've had just about enough of this place. I'd like to offer my thanks to the LRSSG. They should finally bring about a true end to the war.
Understood. Good luck. Multiple unidentified aircraft approaching.
plane is carrying civilians. We have escort fighters, but we do not intend to engage in combat. Please stand down.
What's going on?
Try to get a little closer. Weapon use is prohibited.
What's going on? Dr. Schroeder!
Whoa. There's a girl on board? He's not lying about carrying civilians.
No, unless she's a soldier.
Weapon use is prohibited. We've checked footage. It does seem to be a transport with escorts.
I repeat, this craft is carrying civilians. We are not here to fight. Dr. Schroeder, tell me what's happening.
I'm sure I don't need to remind you, but do not attack the civilian liaison.
That's the aircraft my grandfather told me about. The one with the scratches. There it is. The EASA liaison plane. They engage in witchcraft with Belkin technology. They're responsible for leading the military down the wrong path.
Wait, unknown's attacking the Gulf's plane.
Hold on tight.
Lancaster, permission to engage.
Negative.
What?
It could be Ocean fighters. ID them ASAP.
Shit. That's all we can do.
ID complete. They're Rouge fighters. What the hell is going on?
Stay sharp.
Uh-huh.
Right, I'm shooting him down. Any complaints?
Granted.
Wilco.
Yeah, good work. Strider 1 has killed a bandit.
Careful, those guys are good. Nothing is as close as big shots to you. I managed to catch a glimpse of the 3 strikes.
Fine. Don't miss.
Aim carefully.
Bandit destroyed. Well done. No good. Shit.
You're in my way.
Missile launched.
Nice kill.
Good work. All hostile aircraft eliminated. The liaison is safe. Wait.
The escort fighter is... The drive. They're missing the drive.
What the hell? You gotta be kidding me. Liaison escort has a radar lock. They're targeting you guys.
What the hell? We were just helping them.
Erusian aircraft, this is AWACS Lancaster. Do not engage the liaison. Break off now.
Can you hear me on this channel, Ocean craft? Those escort aircraft are drones. They are currently being operated autonomously. They are not being controlled by anyone. They are flying on their own volition.
What?
In that case, we have no choice but to shoot the aircraft down.
Unfortunately, yes.
We did what we could. Weapons free. You are cleared to attack the escort.
Wilco. Understood.
Wilco.
You can abort the MQ-99's launch. Our commands are overridden. He must be accessing it remotely. This is beyond it.
Hey, it's not our fault this is the reason. Why build something like that? Whoever did is the king of all dumbasses. Additional hostiles inbound. Great timing.
Bitch.
No. The escort must have used its remote activation rights to gain more allies. Clever.
Target was not struck.
Enemy on your back. Enemy on my tail.
Strutter 1, missile launched. 5 bandits remaining.
Damn it. They don't have the drive they need.
Strata 1, target acquired.
It's not enough to be quite functional.
In gun range.
There has to be a time when it should not function.
4 bandits left. 3 bandits to go.
They are after the data on
2 bandits left. Show them what you got.
behind my target.
1 bandit to go.
Strider 1, that's what I like to see. Another story to tell my boy.
Understood. All hostiles have been eliminated. Nice. General's helicopter is flying safely outside Anchorhead Bay. All aircraft, RTB, mission complete.
All hostiles, huh?
General, the Ocean aircraft is here to pick us up. The approaching Ocean aircraft.
Ocean's army? Elaborate. They stole our sealed orders. Should be a piece of cake.
Are you sent by the General's staff? No, we'd like you to send... No, I can't!
There are 3 scratches.
What does that mean?
The tail of that plane.
Lancaster, are all of these really unknowns?
It's a state of civil war. The Erusian army is fighting itself. There's no guarantee the Oceans won't shoot us in this confusion.
We'll image process the unknowns caught in your cams to identify friend or foe. The process will be faster if you get a close-up, well-centered image.
Meanwhile, we just run if they shoot us, right?
Affirmative. Always identify your target before you fire.
It's something I'll never get used to. But tonight has been a total shock. The city...
In order to respond to the attack on the base, Cyclops has scrambled after being on standby. We'll head up too, once our planes are ready. Oh, and Labarth is dead.
What did you say?
Apparently, he was shot down by another Ocean aircraft after he left the area of operations. I mean, I know it was chaos, but still. At any rate, the sealed order operation has come to a close. We have no idea about a plan for going forward.
All we can do for now is watch our own backs.
What's up with the commander?
He's staying in his room. He's still alive, since we can hear him crying.
The island we went to was supposed to have been secured by the ground forces. They hadn't gotten a handle on things by the time we got there, so now we were stuck in the middle of a half-assed campaign. My job was to get the planes ready for combat, making repairs and handing them over to our troop of cons. Thing is, the enemy still had the hangars. The comms were still down, so none of us knew what the hell was going on. The last transmission I heard before everything went to shit was that some prisoners from an Osean military penal unit rioted and managed to escape. They stole some jets and now they were flying around, taking out their former allies left and right. I wonder if any units like ours were out here, creeping around. Hearing the Osean jets firing at each other overhead chipped away at morale. Since the radio was out, it was quiet. I liked it better that way. All I heard was the gunfire. Here we were, walking around carrying rifles. We were pilots, damn it. Friendly fire will probably kill us. You know things are desperate when the guards that used to lock us into solitary are now telling us it's better we all stick together. I guess they think our odds of surviving this war are better that way. After walking for miles across the battlefield, we came across the wreckage of a plane. Passenger, not military. I knew that rose. It was an Erusian liaison plane. The guard's dogs smelled something and took off. They led us to a cliff. And the bodies.
Today, I lost everything. When Osea attacked our capital, my father, a man who was never really suited to being the king, was killed. I was to be flown out of the war zone to safety, but the plane was shot down by rebels. The entire crew was killed in the crash. Soldiers appeared and one shot at me. My dog went after him and shot him to pieces. He was my best friend. After all those speeches I gave about working together for peace, I thought everyone felt the same as I did. I'm sure the soldier who shot at me knew I was the Princess of Erusia. He was Erusian too. More soldiers have come. Now, there is no one left to protect me. I am so numb, I cannot move. I watch as one of their dogs approaches. It sniffs mournfully at my dead friend. I wonder if it grieves for him as much as I do. I can barely think. I feel weaker by the minute. I don't know who these soldiers are with, but I managed to take a sip of the water they gave me.
How long have you been here?
Somehow, I muster the courage to answer the woman's question. I tell her I've been there 3 days. They gather around me with grim looks on their faces. What would they do if they knew I was the Erusian princess? After searching the cockpit of the plane, the woman who spoke to me before came back to me.
This is an air-to-ground tactical radio. It still works!
I noticed she walked with a limp. She knelt down next to me and asked her companions to give me some food. And then, very softly, she said,
"You see, I used to listen to your broadcasts, Your Royal Highness." Just what did you see here?
Okay, enough talk. Your opinions have all been taken into consideration. Beyond the seizure of Farbanti, which is important, and supporting the Erusian officer, at this point, I just don't know what our strategy is, or what our mission will be. Radio communication is still patchy for both the military and civilians, so we're getting zip from Mission Command about our orders. Still, with countless Erusian forces in the area, it's too dangerous for us to stay around here waiting for a miracle. Now, regarding Count's suggestion to think about self-defense, I think we should make a break for Tyler Island. It was a large Osean base before the start of the war. Count says his previous squadron took part in an operation to seize control of the island. It has the only base that will get us to the space elevator without refueling. It's also a transport facility for supply ships that provide drones and ammo for arsenal birds. For the Osean forces that are looking to reclaim the space elevator, those are two great reasons in its favor. If everything went according to plan, the base may already be in Allied hands when we get there. Though based on what Count told me about the island operation, it won't be easy to seize control.
If the ground troops have managed to open the bridgehead, the transport route to Osea for supply ships should be available.
With so much at stake, I can't imagine Erusia just giving it up without a fight. Things could really have gone bad.
Even if there are enemies left, they should be pretty easy to suppress.
I just want to go home, man.
Me too.
With that look on your face, Trigger, I know exactly what you want to do.
If Trigger's ready to kick ass, then so am I.
Damn straight. We're with you, Trigger.
It's decided then. Let's get all the aircraft and haul ass to Tyler Island. Although we can avoid the Arsenal Bird's anti-air network, there's still remnants from the Erusian forces. I want to get to the island without getting into any unnecessary combat. Pick a fast craft and fix it how you want. Pack for a long trip, but remember, if you drag your ass, you'll get left behind.
Strider Squadron, sortie ASAP.
This is Tango 2-3, pursued by multiple tanks and APCs. They'll all go down if we don't pull back the landing craft. It's what? Abandoned Tango 2-3?
Something's not right.
Tango 2-3, we don't have the firepower to assist you. You're on your own. Please, we need help!
Wagtail is on the Ocean landing ship. What's going on? What did you say?
Multiple bogies inbound. Damn it. Prepare for anti-air combat.
This is the AWACS Longcaster. The aircraft in your area belong to the LRSSG.
Allied aircraft. A retreating vehicle is taking fire. Requesting assistance.
Roger. ID complete.
Their artillery fire just missed us off our starboard side.
Update us on Tyler Island.
Couldn't be worse. Our forces are scattered and on the run.
They're on the run?
We were waiting for retreating units here to carry them out to safety.
Cyclops 2, Fox 2.
Do me a favor, Longcaster. Many of our allies are cut off. We need support and an escape route.
Understood. We'll do what we can. Let's help retreating Ocean forces. Take out any hostiles in their area. Don't engage till targets are ID'd.
The boots on the ground don't need more people shooting at them.
Thanks. It's absolute chaos out there. The Erusians are even starting to fight amongst themselves.
Well, now we know what's going on, but shit.
There's more over here. The bodies of dead civilians. I don't think we're part of the fight. With that, we're all lined up. No, we're not combatant. Some parting ways. I can guess what happened here, but I really don't want to think about it. I just have the photograph. We'll head back to HCC. Give us another 30 minutes. The men say they want to at least give the children a proper burial. The group is faster. The blatant war crime. Take photos for evidence.
They're Erusian. Jesus, they're firing at each other. Is this the norm around here?
It's all crazy, people.
Three strikes, count the three, and the enemy's gone.
Our last vehicle's been destroyed. Let's get out of here.
Let's get moving! Hit the gas and don't let up until we reach the extraction point! I don't want to see anyone, hostile or friendly!
Don't pursue too deep. We just need to buy some time. Look in the bay until operation feeding time. Lure them away from the masked driver. We are in the middle of a mission to take back the masked driver. The supply ship at the munitions depot is highly combustible.
Strider 1 hitting the ship sunk.
I count 12 dead bodies. The upper middle class. This one's nearby, so they could be researching for their family. That's why they were involved with Delta. Join us! See the enemy APC from there? You hear us? We're taking fire from multiple enemy tanks! Our guys have still got the enemy air support. What do we do now? Get out of here! We're in the tank!
Allied retreat looks good.
We're moving out! Leave the dead behind! We'll come back to this island one day and send them off properly.
Strider 1, we've identified the unknown targets. Warning, enemy has a beat on you.
Push them back! Fire! Fire at will! We need more ammo! Get in the landing craft! Many thanks, Longcaster. We didn't have to leave our boys to die.
Understood. All aircraft, search every nook of the island. We're not leaving anyone behind.
Shit, auxiliaries trapped. We're sitting ducks out here.
Good. We need help. Bring all the injured.
Missile.
Hostile confirmed destroyed.
Missile.
An explosion inside! Continue the countdown. The enemy's not pursuing the threat from the supply ship. Do the countdown!
Thank you, but don't we make it in time? We're taking heavy
The
damage.
landing ship is waiting for you.
Right, we leave the wounded. This will guarantee us a one-way ticket to hell. Pretty sure we're there already.
It's the Ocean military.
Don't they know they're on the same side?
We'll be firing at each other!
Missile.
This is AWACS Longcaster. We're uploading the latest ID data. Check your TAC terminal.
Hold your fire! Confirmed. The info is from an allied AWAC. Hold your fire! Roger. But where are we supposed to believe? Who can we follow?
You guys got out alive. You have time to figure it out.
There's still one arsenic left. Another bomb. We'll have a fighting chance. These cameras distract the supply ship. Don't fight with your backs to the supply ship. It's here we're done for.
ID complete.
We don't even know where we are.
Let me slide in on that tail. Starter 1, target acquired. Wait, multiple bogies from the east.
Their timing tells me they're not here to bring good news.
We need to ID the bogies. Take them down if they're hostile.
Understood.
Missile.
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
Missile.
Bogies inbound. Escort fighters, we're counting on you.
Missile.
Should we fire?
Missile.
Even if we're not fired upon?
Missile.
Of course. Chase off the bogies! There's no way they're ours! Almost there. Commence operation no return! These are unguided. Stay on course.
Strider Squadron, you're near an armada of bogies. Identify them.
Visual.
Like an eagle.
Grand 7 locked on target.
Missile.
This is Grand 7. Attack failed.
Missile.
Strider 1, Fox 2.
Identification complete.
Missile.
It's Erusian bombers and their escorts.
Missile.
Count's prophecy has come true. Take out all bombers. They'll flatten our allies.
Plenty of civilian casualties as well. Precision bombing is impossible in these conditions. Maybe they know they can't. We're gonna drop them all.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Launch control, this is flight leader. All systems ready. Gotta go for launch.
Missile.
This is launch control. The enemy is closing. Confirm launch readiness.
Missile.
Affirmative. This is our last chance for Operation Feeding Time. Launch control. Roger that.
Target acquired.
Enemy on your back.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Only half the bombers remain. Can't let even one get away.
Missile.
The bombers are nearing the island. We're running out of time. Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
Missile.
They've taken out many of our aircraft. Use extreme caution.
Target hit.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Missile away.
Missile. Missile.
Scratch it.
Missile.
All enemy bombers have been destroyed.
We did it.
Continue with your mission.
Missile.
We can't afford to take any more damage. Get out there and do something!
Missile.
Confirm destroyed. Fox 2.
If we can just defend the mass driver today, our army can turn this thing around.
This whole operation is crazy. Stop whining. We're outnumbered, taking heavy losses. We can't even run. The enemy will shoot us in the back.
Strider 1, Fox 2.
That goes good. Tank fast, but the line on fuel is low on ammo.
Hey, you. Dumbass with a scratch on his tail. Hear me? I need you to help the people. There's a group of refugees surrounded by Rouge tanks right here. Needless to say, their future's not looking too bright.
This is a secure military line. Who is this?
Me? Call me the Scrap Queen.
Lancaster, she's an ally. Trigger and I'd know that voice anywhere.
That voice. So you're still breathing, Sir Count.
Here, let me have a word. Hey, it's been a while. I had a feeling the two of you were still alive. Remember, stick with Trigger and you'll make it.
I have a bit of intel for you. We'll share it if you can help these refugees. Count me in.
That's right.
Echo 13, all hostiles are down.
Understood. This is our last chance. We'll see how far we can go.
We've destroyed all of the targets. All bogies should be ID'd now. Mission complete. Okay, Scrap Queen. Send us the target coordinates.
I was thinking about how I'd do that.
Don't you have a laser target indicator?
Why would she...
Snowcaster, who's taking this to the enemy's doorstep? Not me. Wait, you moron! Wait! What are you doing, dumbass? Here! Attack right here!
Lancaster, we've confirmed the location of the flare.
That's them. All aircraft, we just updated your threat matrix via data link. Take out those targets.
Don't miss. We don't want to hit the pretty ladies down there.
Missile.
Hurry!
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Target destroyed.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Good job! The enemy tanks are close. I don't think I could even do anything with that scrap. That takes care of them. No civilian casualties. Nice going. Do you hear the singing?
Beginning terminal countdown. Pressure stable. Cooling systems on.
Lancaster, a promise is a promise. Here's the intel. I heard it from an Erusian soldier that defected. The supply ships will be launched soon.
Yeah, that is valuable information.
That doesn't sound good.
But can it be trusted?
Not sure. Heard it from a man who said he wanted to atone for his sins. Up to you to trust him or not.
Understood. Good luck.
Releasing safety. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
1. Launch. 1, 2, 3. The mass driver is accelerating.
The supply ships have been launched from the mass driver. If the supply ships make it to the arsenal bird, they'll be able to resupply it. They may be loaded with new weaponry that we don't even know about. We have no choice but to take down the supply ships before they can get within the arsenal bird's air defense network. You've got to hurry or you're not going to make it. 3 minutes to the enemy's air defense network.
Missile.
All aircraft, remain on high alert. We got bandits incoming on radar.
Missile.
You're gonna have to forget about them for now. Focus on destroying that supply ship first.
We're sitting ducks like this.
If we let the supply ship get too far away, we'll never be able to catch it.
Did I really think they can continue to dodge?
Supply ship's in the clouds. Those can't find
After
it.
the supply ships. Stick close to trigger.
Your plane will ice up if you stay in there too long.
So they're trying to beat that giant monster of a bird. We can't let them complete their mission.
90 seconds to the enemy's air defense network.
Don't lose them!
Missile. 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 Missile.
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you. 60 seconds remain.
Missile.
Did you see that explosion? Looks like that's one of them down.
Remember, there are 2 supply ships out there. Hurry up and shoot the other one down. Trigger, you're gonna lose it. Fly at full speed. Hope you're all enjoying the pretty fireworks. If this thing had any windows, we could have seen it for ourselves. Nice work, team.
We're going to find ourselves a boat and leave this island. We'll be taking the refugees, along with any deserters from the Erusian military.
Who's the girl that ran at the tanks with the smoke canister? A few more crazies like her and life down there may have been a tad bit easier.
What do you think would have happened to those refugees if you hadn't intervened? The princess saw what happened. They were little kids.
That's why I like the sky. You don't have to see those types of things.
Does this mean we're that much closer to ending the war?
No, we just basically prevented it from going on forever.
That's right. We have no choice but to return to our original base. Our base that is nearly out of food and fuel. We need to do something.
This is Tango 2-3.
Good. Take a seat. Everyone's here. All right. Good work in sinking the supply ships. Not to mention saving the refugees. However, we're in no position to start celebrating. Even the commander here is starting to fray from the stress.
Can't say I blame him.
Now, Tyler Island is in a state of complete anarchy. This base isn't safe either. The faces you see around you are the only friends we've got. Take a good look.
We found a boat, then sailed away from the island. We had to. We didn't belong there. The new guy's name was George. I noticed when the anarchist said his name, he said it with a thick Belkan accent. How did you know that he was from Belka?
Well, both my parents were from Belka, so...
You never told me that. They say that Belkans are known for their conspiracies.
That's just a stereotype. Now, I simply stated my honest opinion and was thrown in jail for it.
The princess sat there looking miserable. That was a dumbass stunt she pulled back there, but it got us on this boat. Take a look at that. This ship is heading for a single rope that's hanging down from the sky. Do you know how far the end of that rope reaches?
Outer space.
No. It is a direct connection to the very potential of mankind itself. Or at least it was until war erupted.
It's my strong belief that the rope might be connected to a very distant, faraway source of great conflict and strife. Even long before the war, the whole world started falling apart once Harling began trying to build it. I often wonder what was going through Harling's mind when he was trying to destroy the very thing that so many people were sacrificed in order to create.
Sacrificed? What do you mean?
Have you seen all of those countless old space shuttles on Tyler Island that are no longer in use?
Yeah. I always thought of them as a good source of scrap. They're an obsolete technology that was abandoned during the construction of the space elevator. Which would mean that if the space elevator was destroyed, it would be that much harder for mankind to reach the stars. Until we find another way.
But even then, Harling still went ahead and tried to destroy it. At the cost of his own life.
That's not the way I heard it. What I heard was that he sacrificed himself to protect the tower from an incoming missile.
Oh, I was told he tried to fly his ship into the tower in order to destroy it.
I wonder which story is true, Your Royal Highness.
I don't know. Looking at it objectively, it's reasonable to believe that Harling had both options before him.
When it comes to which one you think he took, I guess it's like a mirror.
Yes, it is. It's like a mirror looking into your own soul, based on whichever choice you believe it was. At the moment, though, I can only see darkness. I think that thing should be destroyed.
It's time for the briefing. Although, since we don't have any contact with HQ, it's not like this is an official mission. Anyway, it looks like the seizure of Tyler Island and the relief from Osea have been postponed. In the meantime, we just have to do what we can to survive. Since losing its capital city of Farbanti, Erusian forces have separated into smaller, autonomous factions. It looks like Erusia's largest force and leading faction will pass through the area around this base. The space elevator is significant to them, so they're probably heading there.
Should we intercept?
Why? I doubt they're gonna start a fight now.
Our top priority should be to get home. Let's go already.
Yeah. It's not like we have the supplies, power, or even a real reason to put up a fight. But what are we going to do if they bring the fight to us? We need to be ready to push them back. If we head inland from here towards Erusia, there's an old castle that's been converted into a stockpiling base. Shalaji Castle. It's currently occupied by some of the Erusian forces that broke off, but we need ammo and fuel. They appear to have converted a freeway into a runway, so we can expect them to have the capacity for air combat. But they'll be easier to handle than Erusia's lead faction. While we can't use all our aircraft to attack, the transport carrying the stolen supplies needs support. Okay, Strider Squadron. You head out first, and neuter the dogs at the stockpiling base. Rendezvous with Cyclops Squadron, who will bring the transport. Then we bring the supplies back to this base.
Got it.
Aircraft are our only threat.
Sounds good.
We'll make it. We're all gonna fly home. Together.
Strider Squadron, aircraft prep complete. You're cleared to taxi. No Ocean forces are in the region ahead. No allies here. No need to ID your target. We've set a number of priority targets, focusing on their anti-aircraft weaponry. Okay, team. Get to work.
Unidentified aircraft, not sure if friend or foe. Fire anyway. We don't have time to be wondering if they're friendlies or not.
So, we capture this base and take control of supplies. That's the plan, right, Trigger?
You take it you want to live. That's how it was where I grew up.
I was just double-checking mission orders, Husha. Target destroyed by Strider 1.
Our anti-air guns are destroyed. Abandon and fall back to our rear position. Retreat!
There are more vehicles along the road. They don't appear to be military. They're Erusian refugees. They must be fleeing since the conflict got worse.
Unidentified aircraft. Identify at once or we'll open fire.
What are you talking about? They already are firing on us. The enemy's confused. I know.
Missile.
Our anti-aircraft weaponry is down by 30%. Why are they attacking this base? We're all out of ammo. Don't give up. We're not going to lose our country again.
So what's this faction split from the Erusian military?
The autonomous state of Shalaji used to be a nation. The region has always leaned towards independence. Those who want to restore their homelands flock to it. Apparently, their core consists of officers from Vaslij, which neighbored Shalaji.
Are they our enemies?
They're our enemies' enemy, but not our friends. Missile away. Missile hit.
The resistance is strong. They seem pretty desperate.
Missile.
Vehicle confirmed destroyed.
They're bombing us. We're unable to use the SAMs. Help me! Friendly down! Breaking! They have 4 aircraft! More planes incoming! Fire more missiles! Hit them with AA shells and they'll come down.
We're coming up on the castle. Let's hurry up and capture this base so we can get its fuel and supplies. Shit!
I feel like we're a group of burglars.
Don't say that. This is for our survival.
Yeah, I know.
That's Shalaji Castle.
Strider 1, AA gun destroyed.
They're here already. They can pay for what they did to our scouts. Take in both civilians and refugees without discrimination. Get away from the storm and take shelter somewhere sturdier or underground. Drop where you are and cover your head if you hear jet engines.
Bandit in my sight.
Missile.
Bandit evaded attack. Trying again.
Enemy on your back.
Warning, enemy has a beat on you. Fox 2.
Everything's on fire! The SAM is out! We're running out of ways to strike back!
Missile.
Bandit has a lock.
Missile.
Strider 3 launching missile.
Vehicle confirmed destroyed.
All of our infantry fighting vehicles will take the car.
Strider 1, target acquired.
Locked on Bandit.
We've lost more than half of our forces. The battle won't last much longer. Let them have our lives. As long as our nation stands, the young will carry on.
The enemy has escaped. Still in the fight.
New hostiles. All aircraft confirmed.
This town is of high cultural value. It's unfortunate we had to bomb it like we did.
We do what we need to survive, right?
Not something I'll tell my son about.
Cancel takeoff. All squadrons, stand by.
Native, this battle's over if we don't get up there. Along with hope of restoration. Don't worry. As long as we accelerate inside the tunnel, they won't be able to shoot us down that easily.
Strider 1, target destroyed. Their interceptors are in the air.
All right.
Getting to takeoff speed inside the tunnel is insane.
Soul Squadron, airborne. Shoot these invaders out of our skies. Come on, Soul Squadron.
Understood. You are in violation of Shalaji airspace. Turn around and we'll be forced to shoot you down.
This is the Ocean Long Range Strategic Strike Group. Land immediately and hand over your planes and base to us.
You must be the snowbirds. It's absurd for you to be talking so tough after losing one of your leaders at Forbanti.
You bastard!
You defile this country. As long as you are here, this country will never know peace. Shit. There's no need to get involved. I'm out! Ejecting! I hope he's okay. Really under those conditions. I can see his parachute. Let's pray he makes it to safety.
3 to go. Don't let them work together. Back up trigger.
Wilco. Righto.
Missile hit.
Will's been hit. He's ejected. Damn. We can't even last long enough to buy ourselves some time.
3
some kind of energy weapon. No, it's a railgun.
Strider 1, you have a bogey approaching at high speed. Bearing 090, straight from the east. High-speed projectile launch from enemy aircraft.
I'm testing this aircraft. You must find your own sky. We can still help you. Don't waste your life. Dedicate it to reclaiming that which you call home. Furthermore, you must find someone to guide you. I am not that person.
Lost Legion squad will be retreating. Those fighting below are advised to temporarily withdraw. Don't die. Hey, look at the color of that plane. Damn, that's the flames of hell. Time for payback.
Negative. It's no good. I can't get close enough.
Leave it to Trigger. The rest of us will just get our way. The rest form a perimeter to catch whatever slips through. Wilco, might just cost us our lives.
Fox 2.
90%. Side devices. We can't think of anyone out there. Targeting collision. 157. Be together with me. I taught me something. Drone fighters don't progress. They have cosmos in the skies. And they're what the Lost Legion Air Force should be fighting against.
Hey, look. It's like the sky's been sliced wide open. The experimental unit probably made themselves a new toy.
Hit on unidentified aircraft. The enemy's mobility is still unfazed. Keep up the attack. Unidentified aircraft. Land your plane and surrender. Why do you feel the need to continue fighting on your own?
That's funny. It seems like one of the pilots is also fighting alone.
He's not alone. Look around you.
I see. Perhaps it would have been best to entrust the future to pilots like that. Let me test him then, to see if he's truly worthy. Not bad. Get closer. Fox 2. 100%. Not bad.
That bastard's moving in a way that minimizes the damage even when he's hit. You blow him to pieces.
This weapon is not enough to take down 3 strikes. This aircraft is my body. If they are not enough, then I must put my soul into it. There are pilots like you in every generation, and I've found every last one of them.
Strider 1, target acquired.
Mr. X is ascending rapidly.
The missiles went straight for the sun. Not a casual move.
Locked on.
His movements. I knew it. Mr. X moves like the drone I saw in Bucharest. Maybe you've got it backwards. Maybe the drone is the one that moves like Mr. X.
There's gonna be copies of him flying around?
We'd be lucky if they're only in the dozens.
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
Strider 1 scored another hit.
It's a hit. The unidentified aircraft is going down.
He got him. Trigger has splashed a bandit.
Can you hear me? Pilot with the 3 strikes. This was all due to my ego. I unleashed pure chaos upon this world, just so I could keep my wings. Put a stop to the drone production.
Is this a message to Trigger? What does it mean?
I don't think this war is over just because we shot down Mr. X. Yeah, it's gonna take something else entirely to end this thing. I just don't know what.
No Osean forces are in the region ahead. No allies here. No need to ID your target. We've set a number of priority targets.
Unidentified aircraft, not sure if friend or foe. Fire anyway. We don't have time to be wondering if they're friendlies or not.
So, we capture this base and